Hello, I'm Dave Workman with another part of Workman Associates Cass County COVID Heroes. And today I'm very fortunate to have Todd Miller of Myers Spring. Todd, thanks for taking some time out of your busy day. It's nice to have you. I just wanted to ask you about 6-7 questions, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for having me.
First of all, and you're welcome. First of all, can you give folks here in Logansport maybe a 1 or 2 minute history of Myers Spring?
Sure. My grandfather, Walter Myers, started Myers Spring Company in 1946. He'd been in the spring business for quite a few years before that. He used to work for what's now Matthew Warren today. It was Rockwell at that time. And he actually got involved with another spring company and lost a coin toss on that one. So he wound up starting Myers Spring Company in 1946.
Is that right?
Yeah. He and his partners decided it might be time to go. That's the family story. So how accurate it is, I don't know.
Better than a duel. I must say, better than a duel.
I guess. Yeah, we've been around since 1946. Our very first customer was Allison Transmission in Indianapolis, and they're still a customer today.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah. And so we supply to the automotive industry, agriculture, industrial. Some medical industry is not anything that goes in the body, but medical devices like beds and
Interesting.
and tools and things like that.
Interesting. Now, about how many people are employed at Myers Spring?
Right now, we have right around 50 people
Really?
working for us, and that's held steady. We haven't had any layoffs of full-time people. We had some part-timers that got kind of slow, and so we did have a couple of people that were off. We pulled one back today. We've not laid any full-timers off.
I was going to say, and you just had a major expansion to your business. Was that last year, 2019?
Well, we started in 2019, and it is major for us. We added 50,000 square feet onto our facility.
Nice.
It basically doubled our shop floor size, so we're about 104,000 square feet right now.
Great.
It's panning out well for us. Dave Shepler wound up getting the contract, and Shepler Construction did a heck of a job for us. We're fortunate to have the kind of skill sets we have in and around Cass County, because we had several options, and the contractors around here do great work.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding to hear. So how has COVID affected your business, Todd, in regards to, first of all, I'm going to break this down a couple different areas, protecting your employees?
Yeah, sure. Well, when it first started coming out in March, we actually had we've had 3 people test positive. 1, we weren't sure where that came from, and 2, we think we're connected with the outbreak that happened at Tyson. We had up to 17 people out at any moment, but when we had 1 employee test positive, that was the week before Good Friday, and we had Good Friday scheduled off. And so that Friday, the Saturday, the employee found out that they had COVID, and we alerted every employee that it had happened. So we moved the Friday vacation to Monday, and we did a deep cleaning. I had several of our employees that I called, and I said, hey, look, it's not risk-free, because we didn't really know everything was going on. Sure. But we needed to disinfect, so we cleaned the entire plant, all the surfaces. At that time, things were quite fluid as far as how you get it. They still, to some degree, are, but even less so in March. So there was quite a bit of fear. But we supply, like I said, to Allison Transmission, we do quite a bit of military work for them. There's also, we do ag work, which we were getting the letters that, hey, we're a necessary business. So we had to figure out how to stay open with those letters, and all the while make sure that our employees felt protected. And of course, there was quite a bit of emotion going on at that time, and understandably so. So we actually, the city, the mayor, and the county health department came in to make sure, the initial contact was them contacting us, and it was very quickly afterwards. And they just want to see what our procedures were to make sure that we're to Hoyle. And then once things started happening at Tyson, we invited them back in again, to see what we were doing from a procedural perspective, cleaning surfaces, wearing masks, making sure that everybody was, tending to their devices as well, mice, keyboards. We supplied disinfectant and wipes to everybody. And again, we had the health department come in and make sure that we were doing it to what thought to be the best practices at that time. And thank God we haven't had any other instances besides the one that was a little bit mysterious. But counting our blessings, that
Wow, that's great.
we haven't had any cases since the third case. But it's tense. It's not as tense, but I gotta I guess brag about my team. Of course, there's been concerns, but my team has done so well. When the governor had his mask mandate happen, I think that was that June. It seems like it was yesterday, but today I think is the final state mandate day. I imagine they're going to extend it because things are happening in Marion County. But I got some blowback and emails and that sort of stuff. Normal stuff. Again, it's a tense time. But man, my whole team, they were great. I mean, I normally wear my mask even in my office because I expect everybody on the floor. And yesterday it was 90 some degrees. I forget what the heat index was, but we had a plant-wide meeting for our health insurance and for United Way. Chris Armstrong was in, and everybody was wearing their masks on a hot day like that. And nobody likes doing it, but I'll tell you, my team, I was just so proud of. I was prepared to come in because I got some crap, on some emails. No, it's because I was kind of jacked up that morning when the mandate came out, and everybody had the masks on. So
that's pretty good.
I was so happy about
that's
that.
Great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
well,
my team does
I
great.
know what kind of atmosphere you fostered there by how you've tried to take care of your clients as far as what I've seen, and so
I'm
sure that they're one of the.
It's the team. It's a team effort. It's mutual respect.
That's great. How do you see? How do you see your business outlook for the next 6 to 18 months with COVID, Todd? I mean, is it going to affect it dramatically, negatively? I know you don't have a crystal ball, but how would you look at it?
Well, I can go back a little bit. Our ag business, it stayed pretty steady. It was kind of nip and tuck because there are supply issues. I mean, there's more than COVID going on right now too. There's realignment with our relationship with China, so the supply chains there are a little bit strained right now, which creates, if an implement needs to be made and they can't get a particular part from overseas that they used to be able to get, that affects our orders, and that's not really COVID related. But automotive is definitely COVID related. They're about 25% of our business, and it was just dead. It just is dead. It's just now kind of picking up. One of our major customers got hit with ransomware right after they opened, so that set them back another 2 weeks. And so COVID in the automotive industry was the biggest impact that we saw. Yeah. But it's getting going, and I think a lot of them took the opportunity to kind of pull forward some model changes, which is new product for us, and we've got a lot of stuff in the hopper, and so as far as moving forward goes, our sales projections are really, really good, and so we're really expecting the next 12 to 18 months to be kind of off the charts.
That's great. I was reading my Kiplinger's newsletter where auto sales have really picked up. We've gone up and down 31, and the amount of RV traffic is unbelievable.
Yeah, we have some suppliers in Elkhart, and actually I have a supplier out of Atlanta, Georgia, and they supply to the trailer industry and the RV industry, and I mean, they can't get axles right now, and it's just total pedal to the metal in the RV industry. I say wait 3 years, you can get a heck of a deal on a trailer.
Well, the thing is that our nephew, my wife's nephew, he is in the campground industry, and it's just packed.
Oh yeah,
it's just packed.
Yeah, you got to book way out.
Yep. He is part of an organization that owns multiple campgrounds, and it's just that's where America's going right now.
Yeah, and I think COVID has some upsides too. There's a saying in Italian, we buy Italian equipment. This guy, the supplier of mine, he got they had some difficulties, and he taught me this saying. It's non tutti i mali vengono per nocere, and it means not everything bad that happens is bad. And so, I'm looking at this COVID thing. My daughter Cecilia goes to Auburn, down in Alabama. She came home in March and just didn't go home, didn't go back to school. And my other daughter lives in London, and she's working on her master's degree there. She came home in May, and her boyfriend came a week later. They both went back to school in August, but who gets the opportunity to spend that much quality time with your adult children, where you're not killing each other because you really don't have any options anyway? Right. And so, it was a real blessing, and we just got so much closer to our kids through this. Yeah. And I think people are kind of looking at more of the important issues through this. So I
agree. That. I agree. The thing that I've noticed for me is that sports teams are no longer life and death. It's just kind of a little entertainment to watch, and there's a lot of other things to do besides that. So not everything that is bad. What was the saying again?
Non tutti i mali vengono per nocere, which means not everything bad that happens is bad.
See, I mean, that's it, right? I mean, that's the price of admission to this right here, to that, as far as I'm concerned. Do you have an example of a company besides yours that has done a good job working through COVID in regards to employees being protected and maintaining their ability to do business?
Oh yeah, I several of our customers, they really worked hard to make their employees feel safe and secure, and still put out the notion that, hey, we still got to have an economy, and we still, our reactions to things have costs too. Policies have costs as well, and so we're just shifting. We're new normal, whatever you want to call it. But I'm just, so proud. And what's funny is the virus seemed to move east to west. And so it kind of came through New York and then across Pennsylvania, and then hit Ohio and Indiana. But our customers west of us were still, really pumping out the product. Well, it wound up getting to them eventually. But by that point, they had been watching how to react. So it's kind of like they had a heads up. And I don't think it hit them as hard, Iowa, Kansas, Illinois, from a how do we deal with this perspective, as it did the East Coast, and maybe even into Indiana and Cass County specifically. I mean, with what happened with Tyson, we got to eat, and the pressures are coming from every direction. So I know one of your questions that was coming up, you had sent them to me earlier, is did I see anybody react poorly? And I honestly wouldn't want to judge anybody, because the pressures that come in from whatever angle, and I don't think that there was anybody with bad intentions. I haven't seen anybody with bad intentions out there. And so how we react to it, once the dust settles, we'll find out best practices, and we'll figure out probably, social media has its ups and downs, but I really think that we're figuring out how to react to the inevitable, which this is going to happen again. And our policies will be better because of this, and we'll know where the risks and the rewards are.
Right. And what would you say are maybe one or two major points the average citizen should know about how COVID has affected manufacturing in general? And is there anything they can do to help, other than, just wear your mask, wash your hands?
Boy, I thought about that, and we've all got our challenges in every business and everything that we do. The teachers have their challenges. I think we're probably more fortunate than places where groups of people have to get together, because we can socially distance pretty well at our plant, even in the break areas. To some degree, we're lucky we had our new facility on, because we were able to put our break area out into a very wide area. Even during the colder months, we were effectively able to move into our building in March, April time period. So, I'd say to help manufacturers, there are, like I said a little bit, I was proud of my team, and in order to be proud to be proud, you kind of have to have a point of view or reference. And I've spoken to other facilities where and managers with, and I won't mention names, but where they struggle more with people taking advantage sometimes of the situation as well when it comes to, you know, I guess not taking advantage of the rules specifically, you know, when it comes down to how many hours are allocated for COVID reactions and that sort of thing. And it's hard for some of the manufacturers to get ramped back up because there's so much fear out there. It may be well placed, it may be perfectly honest, but you know, and everybody has to make their own choices on that. But there is some notion out there that sometimes, you know, people respond to incentives, and not everybody is responding, you know, exactly to Hoyle, I guess.
Well,
it's natural, and it always happens. Whenever there's an incentive out there, it will be used and it will be abused.
Right. Well, I really enjoy that you took some time to visit with us, learn a little bit more about Myers Spring. I learned a couple of things about who your customers are, what you've done. Didn't even realize that the mayor and the health department would be involved in coming into companies and making sure that they're doing the right thing.
They did a great job. The response time was fantastic,
which is encouraging, and so I just appreciate it, Todd. You're a big part of this community that the Myers Spring has been and will be a big part of this community. We appreciate it. Thanks for taking your time, and I hope you and yours are safe. And A, well done on the Italian, and B, great beard. Got a ways to go for the Paul Hartman thing going, but the beard, the COVID beard, you know, it may not be on the Mount Rushmore of the COVID beards I've seen, but you know, it's easily top 10, Todd. You're easily a top 10 guy.
Well, thanks. My daughters and my wife like it, and so I guess I need to keep it, huh?
Well, that's yeah. If you're doing those three, yes.
Yeah.
And as someone who couldn't grow a beard, if I put, you know, chia paste on my face, I always look at the COVID beard. So hey, good luck to you and yours, buddy. Thanks so much for your time.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Take care.